One very obvious place you should look for is if you come down to your C drive here, and some of this you probably know, but you right click on it, and you can choose properties, and this will tell you how much free space you have. And I would become pretty nervous on computers nowadays if it was down in the megabyte level. Um, I'd probably at least want 250 megabyte MB, if not 500 megabyte free. But I like it being up in the gigabyte for the free space. Yeah, that wouldn't be it then. The other thing you can do is you can do a tools error checking, and this will go out there and look for errors on your hard drive. Now, this optimize and defragment drive probably wouldn't help you. This more speeds it up. Um, you know how the do you know how it saves files on your hard drive? Okay. Solid state I don't know about, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, and I don't know how it stores the files on there, but your regular hard drives, if you got a huge file, it may save little bits and pieces of the file all over the disk, um, so that if you delete, it used to be you could do a defrag and it would show it, but this doesn't show it anymore. If I click optimize, um, hmm, well, let me give you an idea. So you got all of this, and this is your free space. Black is your free space. It goes to save a file, puts it there. It saves the next file, puts it there. Saves the next file there. Maybe the next file saves it here. Next file. This is probably like even before you get your computer, if I had to guess, but where it's that clean, saves that. Okay, now you go and you delete this file right here. So now those, assuming I haven't screwed it up, let's try it again. Well, one more time. So you delete that file, it returns that memory back. So it goes to save another file, and that file is only this big. So it stores that there. It goes to put another file in, but this space is not big enough. So what it does, it puts part of the file there, and then maybe puts the rest of the parts of the file down here. And as you start doing more and more cleanup, like I delete this yellow file right here, so that's gone. Now, if I save a file, maybe it's a small file, and I save it here. Running out of colors. Let's try that. So it saves that there. Now, if I have a larger file, um, maybe in the meantime I even delete this one. Now I have a larger file that can't fit in this area, so it puts part of it in this area. Blue. Part of it there. Maybe it puts another part here, and then puts another part down here. Yeah. So as you delete files and little bits get used up, your files become fragmented. And so when it has to grab a file, and it is slow, and in some cases it becomes so fragmented that will cause errors. What this program does, I don't have it up and running anymore, but that optimize will rearrange these so these are no longer not next to each other. So it'll place them right beside each other. And so they're no longer fragmented. They can retrieve it a little bit faster, and you also don't have those issues. Have you seen that before? Well, may not be real quick. Depends on how fragmented your hard drive is. Um, it used to be kind of fun to watch because you could see it moving like pieces of the files or um, directories or whatever it was displaying on the. But you see little rectangles being moved, and then it would move them back, and it was fun to watch. Um, I don't think that they see. I don't think it's that fun anymore. But it could be if you go to the like change settings, maybe it'll show graphical or something like that. Usually they're scheduled automatically. Oh, this is a solid state drive. Ah, maybe that's why things are so fast. Right. Huh. I assumed it was other parts of this laptop, but maybe people are right. I don't got a solid state drive at home, but I may have to get one. Okay. But anyway, it's set up to automatically do that. And it doesn't look like it'll me analyze it because it's already well done, I guess. Oh well. I don't know if I find an old picture of that. Not that it's that interesting, but defrag drives. Here's what the picture used to look like, something like this. And so you would see it move things, and then it I think the green reflected when it put them all together, all these different pieces. They didn't do all the different colors like I was doing, but this is not all. This red is not all one file. It's like little pieces. It's been defragmented. Junk files found 20,000. Disk space wasted by junk files 3 gig. Guess they can return a bit. Now this is looks like maybe a one you can download, but or maybe it's a Softpedia. It might be from history. this white space down here is like your free space, and so it becomes worse as you get less free space here because it um, what can fragmented files due to Windows 10. Um, that says it slows it down, which it definitely does. I'm just curious if it would cause files not to save. It might be time to do a little. That means if you have tons of fragmented files, you won't slow. I guess that's what they're showing you here. But they temporarily put parts of the file down here, and they're just rearranging it like that until everything is together. Um, Defragmenting your drive reassembles those files, combines your free space drive in one block, making reading and writing faster. Um, See, this implies it does it on a schedule now, so you might not have to do anything in yours. Okay. Oh, see, and this implies for SSD that doing that isn't necessary. Because I wondered, because the old one kind of worked off the spinning platters. Um, this says that being said, SSDs do require another type of maintenance called trim, which erases old data you've already deleted, making file writes faster. If you have an SSD, the current status will probably just say OK with a note about when the trim command was last run. Again, you shouldn't need to intervene here, but if it hadn't been run from, you select the drive and click optimize. And that's what I just did on mine, I guess. Interesting. Let's see, what else could it be? Virus would do that. Um, Besides those two items, I'm not sure why I wouldn't. Are you creating a brand new project each time you do that? Okay. If you're doing a file save as, sometimes it'll just some of the files will be brand new, but then some will be overwritten each time. So, like if I go into Visual Studio, that shouldn't matter. Yeah, I can't imagine I would. But if I new project console app, maybe it's probably one of the worst things they added in to Visual Studio is this file save as. Not present. Try that again. I don't think I ever did get my 2017 working again after I lost my registry. Okay. I'm still not used to this format of this project. I have people do this all the time, which isn't a big deal because I can. It gives them different. Well, I suppose it might be if they depends on when they zip it up. I never thought about that. But sometimes I can't see the most things on a project, but I can see the source code, and so I grade the source code. And so people come up after they did and create a new project. They come down to you see down here. There's a save form as, and they'll choose this. Now, if you come over here to the project, you see there's really no save as here, is there? And if you come over to here, it's not easy to even see a save as here. Now, I think there is some place on Visual Studio where you can save a project. I usually tell people just copy the folder. Let's see where it is. Visual Studio, how to save a project as another name. Boy, that's horrible. I don't know what I wanted. Back to here though. Point to the open and click project from the web. Open to the. Make a copy of the entire everything on the file system. I thought there was a way to do it actually in the project, the package. Everybody's saying just copy a folder though. Oh well. But since you're doing a new project each time, that can't be the reason. Yeah, that's about all I can think of. Okay, let's take a What's that? Okay. Well, let's take a look at this, and we'll add some more items to it, and then we'll call it good. Remember, we have our first person controller here, and the goal of this game is for the person to reach the top here. And might not have enough enemies to make it playable, especially based upon how it shoots. But we're going to add a new scene. And let's see if I can remember how to add a scene. There it is. File new scene. I don't think it's under the create. Might be wrong. See it there. There it is. I guess it is under the crate, at least down there. By the way, if I do a file, new scene, question is where in the world it went to. That's interesting. Let's do a save. And I'll call this main menu. It doesn't actually appear until there. And I can move it down here to my scenes if I want to have all my scenes in the same place. And if I drop just a user interface on here, drop a text there, and I'll do an F to bring focus to that. And attack of the red spheres. It's curious, I don't see it over here. Mm-hmm. Camera is. Did we have to move that before when we did the user interface? 0, 1, -10. You're right. It's they're not even close, are they? Right. There it goes. Okay. I don't really understand why it's working there, but we'll go with that. I don't know. See, because my camera is at 0, 1, -10, and I put the text at 0, 1, -10. I would not expect it to show. But Yeah, and it always stays there. That's why I'm surprised when we added that on, it wasn't present to begin with. I expected it to be real small and down at the bottom or something, but hmm, oh well. Um, let's see. Oh, well, that looks horrible. Yeah. Um, there it goes. That looks better. Why 35 just disappears? I'll go with that. I wonder which way is Y. Hmm, Y is that way. Okay. Hmm, okay, that looks good. I need a button on there. So I'm right click on the canvas over here, choose user interface, and choose button. Oh, I'm in the game. There we go. That down a little bit. Change the text of it. Say start. Now we get to the part where I don't remember. So we'll have to play with it a little bit. Um, add a component, add a new script. I call this start game. And go up to assets, start game. Double click that. And void click public void click button. Then up here, using Unity engine scene management and scene manager load scene and name of it. Um, I think I would rename that first thing, but okay, save that. And let's see, so I click the plus here. Click that. I think I dropped my script up there. And then for the function, I choose start game. Maybe. There's click button. Couldn't remember I named it. Boy, that's bad. I'll check out the nursing homes this afternoon. Okay. So let's run that. See if I'm even close. I haven't dropped that in the build, so I don't know if it'll actually work. We'll see. Click that, and didn't do anything. Let's see if it's even there. Debug.log. Yes, I am here in click button. Click my console. Sample scene cannot be loaded because it's not been added to the build settings. Okay. That's what I was talking about. File build settings. You have to have all your scenes in here. So you can click add all open scenes, but that'll just be the main menu. But if you have your scenes under the project here, you can drag and drop them there like that. And I'm gonna click build and not run, just build. Maybe I don't even want to do a build. Just close it. File, build settings. Okay, they're there now. Never mind, I don't have to build it. Now I'm gonna run it. There it goes. Okay. So we got our main screen here. We clicked the start, took us into the game. Now we want to go back to our sample scene, save that. And we're going to, actually I need to create my game over, or you lost or you won type of scenario. So maybe I want 2 new scenes. Although you could just change the text since it's all I'm going to drop on as a text. Let's see. File, create, scene, and lost game scene. CE. Right click here, choose create scene, and 1 game scene. Okay, so let's and before I go any further and forget it again, we go to build settings, drop a lost game scene on here, and 1 game scene on here. Close that. Go to lost game scene, double click that. Drop a canvas on there. So I right click, choose user interface, and choose text. When you drop text, it automatically drops a canvas on there. Sure enough, maybe I have readjusted each time. 0, 1, -10. 0, 1, -10. And what is this? The lost game. You lost. Save that. Let me go to the U1 and drop on a user interface, drop on a text. U1, 25, 0, 0, -15, 25. Go to my scene here, make it bigger. Okay, that should be good. Save that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to sample scene. And over here, I'm gonna not remember where I put anything, so I'm gonna double click one of these. So bring up all my source code. Maybe. Destroy game object. On collision enter. This is my bullet. Bullet doesn't matter. Okay, here's my check for win. This means I touched the yellow block at the top. Means I won. And although I'm going to flip over and put the win screen up real fast, in truth, it'll lose the score. They won't be able to see the final score, but that's okay. We may not get to that. But I wanted to have the scene management. Using Unity scene management. Unity engine. That's scene management. Scene manager dot show one game scene. Sure enough. Well, does not contain a definition for show. Oh, was the scene manager? One game scene. Let me see. Scene manager dot load scene. Okay, and one game scene. I was going to edit, copy that, and edit, paste it in, but I thought, no, I need to type that so I can remember it. But because I had to refresh my memory for a class, go out and look what that command was. Each time I type it, it'll cement it in more. Okay, so now we're looking for where our red ball. Well, this one implies this is where it wins. I think I didn't clean up my code. Which is a bad thing. Because then you get confused. You're wondering, what in the world's this? I thought this was checking for the win. Okay, so our enemy. Okay, so this is where the enemy's colliding with our player. And see, this is where documenting this is probably a really good thing. Assuming I put it in the right place. Let me go put it underneath. Code for collision to check. For collision with enemy and player. Sure enough. How many times have I misspelled that in the code? It hasn't worked. Quite a few. I'm sure it's more than that. It's just like I cannot believe how many mistakes I make. I got this package Grammarly. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, I have it enabled in Chrome, and it emailed me after my first month or 2 months of use, and it told me how many words I typed. And it's like, wow, I'm like Shakespeare, I'm reading that, and then it was talking about all the times it corrected my mistakes. It's like, no, you're not like Shakespeare, Fred Flintstone or something. I don't know. Okay, so here I need to bring in my scene management. Have you received that email telling you of all your mistakes? Uh, yeah, it was a little bit of a shock. Okay, scene manager dot load scene. Uh, lose, lost, lose, lost game scene. Okay, so let's save everything and then go run it and check that portion of it. And if that's it, we'll move our character to the far end, and then we'll start adjusting some of the enemies, the red spheres, to see make it a little more playable. Well, that didn't work. First off, I didn't have the right scene, but still, it should have went to the inclusion. It looked like it just made it inactive. There is. Um, I don't know. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Obviously, I have some other issues in my code. Why didn't do the other one though? Game over. Oh, it did this up here on collision inner. Where in the world did I put it? I put it over in here, which has nothing to do with boy, I needed to clean this up bad. Just comment that out. You don't want to start deleting it until you're for sure that that's where the issue is. Okay, so this is where it should be. What the G active should have done is my character is just no longer active. It's just it's not even, you can't even see it on the screen, which is interesting because I don't know if you noticed, but the red ball stopped, which means there's nothing for him to go toward anymore. Okay, so let's save all that and try to run that again. Perfect, you lost. Oh, I know why that error came up. Because since I had got struck by one of those red balls, they didn't have anything to point to anymore. That's why they all stopped. Because before they were all trying to point to the player. Since the player is no longer in the game, that's why I came up with all those errors. Okay, now we want to see if the win works. So let's run it again. There it goes. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, is it kind of windy out or rainy? Oh. Okay, so we got that working. Um, we haven't transferred our final score to the win or lose screen. But before we do that, we're going to put our player on the other side. Let's see, where's our player now? Player 3.250, 17.76. Okay, so our player is over here. And we'd like to move it. here somewhere. Now I'd want to put walls around the outside too. That'd be another feature I'd want to add into it, but well, I can't do this. I'll bomb off the video. See, I'm guessing that this wouldn't be a challenge. I could actually finish it. Like I say, I won't test it because it'll bomb off the video, maybe even cause your screen to go black. But when we create our enemy instances, it was 100, 10 by 10. And these probably don't make any sense to have it in two different for loops here. It could have been just in one for loop. Well, it does use X position, Z position. No, that isn't based on X and Z. Never mind. But anyway, if I add 30 by 30 instead of 100, that's 900. That might actually be a little bit more challenging when I played it. So I clicked it. There it goes. Argument out of range exception. On collision inner. That's interesting. I must have exceeded the maximum possible. Let's try 20 by 20. Okay, I didn't exceed anything there, especially since I can't shoot straight. Looks like my collision, my colliders might have needed some adjusting there. Okay, let's try to do one last thing. I think we'll have time for. We're going to try to put the score on the winning. The winning. And I don't know how to do this. I know how to do it on an object that's on the same scene, but I don't know how to do it on a different scene. So this will be a learning. Let's see. Go to my project. I'm going to go to the one game scene. Click save there. And okay, you won, and need my score on here too. So I'll right click on the canvas, drop another text. And call it end score. See, I wonder if I drop a script on it, if I can access it directly. Let's see. Update score. Public, static, integer score. And up here, I'm going to bring in Unity engine dot user interface. I have a text called TR. I have a game object called G. Actually, I don't think I want those there. Lost game scene. Here's my win. In theory, this is what I'm thinking. I need to find something here. Game object G text TR. In theory, if I've loaded this scene, then I should be able to access the elements of it. So I say G is equal to game object dot find, then the name I gave it, and that new text I called it in score. Yeah, I can get it to appear in score. And then TR is equal to G dot get component text. And then TR dot text is going to equal to this right here. Theory. Now this assumes I've won, and that's not likely. Unless I cheat again. So let's cheat again. Train. Then do F. Then our player. Our player is somewhere. If I can't win that, then that's bad. Okay, so let's see if that updates that score. No error is a promising sign. Okay. Oh, so you think I'm too low? Did I even adjust that? I must maybe I did grab something. Let's try it again. Y is negative 1.8. Oh, Y is 0. Two. That looks better. Where's my? I'm gonna lose. Boy, that's pretty bad. I wasn't even close to. It's also running extremely slow with that many items on there. Okay, let me change it back just because of the speed. Enemy instances. There we go. It's kind of a cool effect. Made everything look like it was flying up in the air. That's true. Boy, my collider's really bad on that. Still going extremely slow. That's not a promising thing. Ah, why is my memory so bad? Because it's getting ready to die. Um, Scores 10. Didn't update it, did it? Or I had 10 to even begin with. So my theory on that was off. So let me Google it then, because I have no clue. How do Unity 3D, how do you update text element on another scene? I know some ways to do it. There's just there's got to be a real clever way. How do you reference? Yeah, reference another game object in another scene. That's what I really need to do. Accessing an object from another scene in Unity. How to set reference to an object. Mm, well, I don't think I'm gonna get it in that amount of time. Oh well, we'll call it quits with that game. Not as quite as refined as I would hope, but then again, we're only working on four class periods, so. But that shows you how to create a very crude game. I'm not a creative type person, so that's where people make real money is that they can think of not that they can code a red sphere moving across the, the terrain. It's the fact that they can think of what would be fun, what would catch people's imagination, how to make it so it's playable and enjoyable, and all those. So there's quite a bit of topics that we didn't talk about there. Um, this is our last class, so got the final project, and that's it. It's been a good class, and just wanted to wish everybody, whether you're online now or at home, a good break. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording.